Okay, let's see. So this is, let's see, is this lease for Windsor Castle? So obviously this morning was her. Okay, so obviously this is after the church service. So there was a church service this morning at 11 o'clock. Then it went on for like an hour and a half, and now they are leaving and marching towards Windsor Castle. So I believe that she gets driven. Oh no, there she is. Oh, she might be getting driven now to go to Windsor Castle. So they have to pull the coffin from the church, right? Because she was delivered to the church this morning at 6 in the morning, right? So that was yesterday. Um, yeah, because it's Tuesday there now. So they take her out. They took her from. So they had the last person in the queue or the line to see her past the casket, and then they had like 4 or 5 guards behind that very last person to see the Queen lying in state. And then they took the coffin and they loaded it onto this thing here. It's a cannon cart, I guess. And so they all these guardsmen marched her from that place, Westminster Abbey, and now they're taking her into a hearse and they're going to drive her to Windsor Castle. So the hearse is going to be in a parade of guards, and all the military is there. I mean, look at that. Yeah. And so they're going to walk her. So these people are pulling. That's a 2,000-pound cart. It's a cannon. It's a cannon cart. I forget what they called it. So they're going to take her and they're pulling her. And it's 2,000 pounds, that thing. Okay. So now they're going to put her in a hearse. And then they're going to drive her, flanked by all her guardsmen and all different types of uniforms, to Windsor Castle, where she will have a service at St. George's Chapel. Yeah. So when they left Westminster Hall, which is apparently at Parliament House, hence Westminster Hall, because it's inside of Parliament House, and was taken to Westminster Abbey. That's how they brought her there. They brought her. The pallbearers went inside. They pulled her. They got her. I mean, I don't even know what is the correct words to say. They carried. They carried her. They carried her. Thank you, Lord. They carried her to her. These are the pallbearers. So earlier today, the first time they did that was when the last person to see her left. Remember, she was escorted out by like 6 or 8 police. No, not police, guardsmen. so so now they're carrying her and putting her in the hearse, but this is exactly what we saw earlier. They came, they carried her out of Westminster Hall. They put her on that carrot cart. I mean, not carrot cart. I'm sorry. Carrots. Where did I get carrots from? They put her on that the cannon cart, right? And then they pulled her all the way to Westminster Abbey. And when they did that, they were joined by the royal family, the men, and Princess Anne, and they followed behind her casket. But this was, of course, after the service, right? So that's what we're watching right now. So they're just getting ready to take her to Windsor Castle, where there will be another service. And that service will conclude after the committal ceremony. So there's a service and then like a ceremony where they actually take her scepter and the sphere and the crown, and then there's a staff involved where they actually break the staff in two, um, signifying the end of her reign, right? And the beginning of King Charles. So at that point, King Charles is the one that lays down her crest over her casket or her coffin. They call it a coffin there. And and they will, and then that's when the staff is taken and broken by like one of the aides or chaplains or whatever. And then he takes both pieces of the staff and he places them on top of the crest, uh, um, anchoring them there where the staff and the crown and the spear were earlier. And they actually cover those little like gadgets sticking out of the coffin with that crest. It's a flag, a small, maybe it looks like a napkin, but a lot thicker than a napkin. So, and it's very, very just amazing to see, cool to watch. Very cool to watch. So the flowers that are on top of the casket or the coffin were given, were changed, I guess. Remember, there used to be white ones all around. It was like a white wreath. Yeah, so that was given to her by Charles. It's from King Charles III. And there's a lot of stuff going on right now in terms of like what King Charles is doing. But I really want to just take in this because obviously it's historic, right? So, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, as Meghan Markle would say. Or let's call her Rachel Ragland now. Apparently that's what her name was before. I wonder why, though. How did she manage to, like, I don't know. I have no idea. The Queen's horse. One of the Queen's favorite horses is brought out to meet her when she gets to Windsor. Um, and then somewhere along the line, her corgis are shown. But I'm not sure if the corgis are shown and featured today or if they are an old picture. Sure.
National anthem played as Her late Majesty was taken from Wellington Arch and is now on the way to Windsor.
So apparently the grounds of Windsor are really huge.
And
so there's a church on the grounds of Windsor. It's like a little town, I guess.
Archbishop of Canterbury about the Queen's life of service and dedication, sense of duty.
Oh, this is really neat. They start throwing roses on her. I fell asleep at this point, and then I woke up to when she was already at Windsor.
From the Abbey to
and then I was only able to watch a little bit of it, and then I think I fell back to sleep.
Crowds on the streets are approaching Knightsbridge, lots of them offering floral tributes.
So I missed the beginning, but I was able to watch the service.
Others just maintaining
after which I fell asleep. I guess there's like 14 hours ahead because it's 8 hours plus, like, I don't know,
Their
4
queen for
from
the
the
last
time
time
zone.
as she
Or
leaves London.
I'm not sure.